Welcome to Everyday Linux User. In today's video we are looking at Manjaro Linux and specifically the XFCE version of Manjaro Linux, as we are on a bit of an XFCE roll at the moment. Now I'm going to show you the install first before we get into the politics or whether you should or shouldn't use Manjaro. So let's get started. So we can click the Launch Installer option. And that brings up the Calamares installer, and we can instantly see that it's a linear installer and it makes it very easy to understand at which stage you are. So at the moment we're just at the welcome screen, so we need to choose our language and we choose that, click next. And you see a dot appears next to each one of these that you're on. So location, easy enough. Where are you in the world? Click next. You see it's now moved to keyboard layout. It's already found out the correct keyboard layout. Click next. Where do you want to put it? I'm going to erase the disk and I'm going to put it onto this disk here. Click next, and then I'm going to create a user. You can choose to log in without asking for the password. I never recommend doing that, but you can use the same password for the administrator account if you want to. I am going to do that, and then I'm going to click next. Lets you choose the office suite that you want to use, so I'm going to choose LibreOffice over FreeOffice, and I'm going to click next. And then we're at the summary and it tells you exactly what it's going to do, and I'm just going to click install, and it says here you won't be able to do these changes, so make sure that you're happy that there's nothing on that disk that you want to keep, because it will be overwritten. Click install now to get started, and we can see the installation process begins, and I can say from experience this actually is rather quick. With Manjaro, it takes between 10 and 15 minutes at maximum. As you can see, the process is now done. All we have to do is check this box here and click done, and the system will reboot into Manjaro. So here we are inside Manjaro for the first time, and there's a bit of an issue with Manjaro at this moment in time with the community and with its reputation as a whole. So there's infighting between the developers. Some of the developers have gone on strike because they think that they want Manjaro to be a community driven project and they want to break it away from the commercial side. There's been a few gaffes over the years, such as letting the SSL certificates lapse, and there's also the fact that Manjaro's reputation with Arch users isn't the best anyway, and the problem is that Arch is an up-to-date roll and release distro, and all the packages are always as up-to-date as possible. Now Manjaro holds back the updates for a couple of weeks, mainly for stability purposes, so that they can check that the package is going to work before just releasing it. Now this causes a problem with something called the AUR, and that's a huge repository of applications which are always up to date. So if you use the AUR with Manjaro, you'll have held back packages that are native to Arch, and then you have the really up to date Arch user packages, and they can conflict and cause issues. So I recommend, if you're going to use Manjaro, don't use the AUR, or use it very sparingly for only a small amount of things. Personally, when I've used Manjaro in the past, it's always worked quite well. That's not to say I recommend it, but at the same time, it is actually pretty good. So here we are. This is the welcome screen. You can turn this off by sliding this to here. It gives you documentation, support, and project things here. But I'm going to close that down. If we look at the hardware support, Wi-Fi down here, you see I've got Wi-Fi networks available. And if I click down here for Bluetooth, and turn that on,
Bluetooth mode,
and I click search,
connecting,
and you can see they're connected fine. Now printing is an odd one, so if we go into printing, you can see you can go into administration. It's the web-based version of Cups that you go into. You log in under administration, and then you can add a new printer in, and you can see it's found my printer already. Now I've already set it up, but eventually it will end up here, and that's how it works. It's okay, it's just a web-based interface rather than the normal GUI. It looks a bit archaic, to be honest, but it works. So software that comes installed with Manjaro and accessories, you get the normal things like a calculator, a text editor and things like that. And development, you've got this micro. Under education, it depends on which Office software you installed. If you install LibreOffice, then you get this math thing under education. I don't know what you get with FreeOffice because I didn't install that, but you probably get something similar. Under graphics, you've got the GNU image manipulation program, and that's a bit like Photoshop. You've also got a PDF viewer and a image viewer. Under internet, we've got Firefox and Thunderbird. Under multimedia, we've got things that I've installed already. So I've installed Kdenlive, OBS, VLC and Spotify, so you don't get those. All you get is Audacious, which is a music player, and XFBurn, which is a DVD burning application. I'm surprised they didn't install VLC out of the box. As mentioned before, we've got LibreOffice, but it depends what you chose during the install stage. Now for installing applications, we've got this software utility, add remove software, and things you're going to want to do. Here you go into preferences, and if you go to third party, so I don't normally recommend turning the AUR support on, but there are a couple of things you'll need, so I have turned it on and I'll show you why later on. And then Flatpak support, I enable that, and there's a reason for doing that. I'll tell you that in a minute. And you can enable snaps if you want to. So if you enable any of these, if you do the AUR, you can just do the refresh databases. But if you do Flatpaks, I recommend rebooting your computer before using it for the first time, because it doesn't always show up. But assuming you've enabled Flatpaks, you can find things like Spotify, Steam, etc. Now the reason I installed VLC Flatpak is because it comes with all the multimedia codecs installed, and the same for OBS. It works better as a Flatpak. The reason for enabling the AUR is so that you can, if you search for TTF-MS, you can get the Microsoft fonts. Now these ones here, the 365 and Windows 10, they don't work very well, but you can also do TTF Vista, and then you get the Vista fonts, so that gives you fonts like Calibra and stuff like that. So if I now go into LibreOffice, you see I've got Arial Black, and I've got Calibra as well. So that gives you all the Microsoft fonts. So that's my main reason for enabling the AUR, is just to get the fonts, and that's it. And that's unlikely to have conflicting packages because really it's just fonts. So that's the software installer. There is another software installer. If we type Manjaro, we've got this Manjaro application utility here, and you can install applications this way as well. So Vivaldi, Chromium, Firefox, you've got email, Office suites, lots of different sections here that you can install. There is an advanced option, and that gives you things like system utilities and virtual computing. So if you want GNOME boxes or virtual box and things, system tools, just gives you a little bit more stuff. Personally, I would use the software manager to install software rather than this, but it's up to you which you prefer. Now when it comes to the desktop wallpaper, you can see it's come with the standard XFCE one, which is a bit weird because if you go into desktop settings, there are Manjaro themed wallpapers available. So I don't understand why they wouldn't have that. And there's actually some quite nice images as well. Like that. But me being me, I couldn't resist. If we go to other, we go to pictures and wallpaper, and go like this. I've created a Matrix themed wallpaper with me as one of the central characters. And there really isn't that much more to Manjaro as far as I can tell. I've searched for utilities. and most of it's just the sort of stuff that you'd get with the XFCE desktop environment anyway. So you've got this Manjaro settings manager, and that gives you access to a few system things and keyboard and hardware configuration, but not much really. Now, would I recommend Manjaro? It's not bad. It works, and I have used it in the past, and it does work quite well. Would I recommend it? It does concern me, the noise around the project with, there's so many people that say not to use it. It's one of those things. Do you listen to the majority, or do you try it and see if it's something that you like? Now, it is easy to use, and is easy to install, but it's something you maybe want to try out first in a virtual machine and then see whether you like it or not. Personally, I would go for MX Linux. I'm more of a Debian person anyway. If I wanted XFCE, MX works for me better than Manjaro would. Coming up, I'm going to install Endeavour and Kashi to see if the XFCE versions of those work, and we can compare that with Manjaro. But that is the end of the video. If you like it, give a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time on Everyday Linux User.